All right, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a worksheet on inferencing. All right, so we talked about inferencing yesterday. Do you remember what we said inferencing was?
No, I do not.
Okay, an inference is when you take what you know about something and you take the information that's in the text and then you bring them together, right? To make a good guess about what the author is trying to say about something. So I used the example yesterday of if I said that the girl went outside and she ran across something black and furry and it let out a shriek, meow. What is it?
A kitty cat.
How do you know it's a cat?
Because kitty cats go meow, and they have fur, and some of their fur is black.
Right. So you took information that you knew from what you know about life, from your experiences, and you used what the author described in her story, and you put them together to make a good guess that the author is talking about a black cat, right?
Yes.
So that's an inference. No, you just made an inference. So we're going to read over this worksheet, and I want you to do two things. I'm going to read one. You're going to read the questions. If you come across a word that you don't know, I want you to take the highlighter and I want you to highlight it, okay? So Kyle ran into his house, slamming the door behind him. He threw his book bag on the floor and plopped onto the couch. After 6 hours of playing, go ahead, you can highlight it. After 6 hours of playing Grand Larceny the Seventh, he ate some pizza and fell asleep with a slice on his stomach and his feet on his book bag. When Kyle came home from school the next day, he was noticeably distraught. He balled up his report card and placed it inside a soup can in the garbage. He then flipped the soup can upside down in the garbage can and arranged loose pieces of trash over it. As he plopped down on the couch, he let out a sigh and picked up his controller. I want you to highlight this word right here, distraught.
Okay.
And I'm going to read that sentence again because I want you to listen to the sentence for context clues to see if you can come up with a meaning for the word distraught. Do you already know the meaning of the word distraught?
No.
All right, it's a pretty big word. So the sentence says, when Kyle came home from school the next day, he was noticeably distraught. What's some things that it could mean? He was noticeably distraught.
Distraught could mean that he was torn apart, sad, his heart broken.
Okay, why do you think that?
Because in the text it said he sat down on the couch and he let out a sigh.
Good job, right? So you use the context clues from other parts of the story and put them together. So distraught means that he was upset. When you're distraught, you're upset about something, okay? So the question asks you to make the inference of, why is Kyle distraught? So I'm going to read it again. Kyle ran into his house, slamming the door behind him. He threw his book bag on the floor and plopped onto the couch. After 6 hours of playing Grand Larceny the Seventh, I need you focused, he ate some pizza and fell asleep with a slice on his stomach and his feet on his book bag. When Kyle came home from school the next day, he was noticeably distraught. He balled up his report card and placed it inside a soup can in the garbage. He then flipped the soup can upside down in the garbage can and arranged loose pieces of trash over it. As he plopped down on the couch, he let out a sigh and picked up his controller. So why is he distraught?
Because his report card might have been bad.
Okay, so write that answer on the line.
Capitalize it.
I want you to write it in a complete sentence. How do you know that? How do you know that Kyle was distraught because his report card was bad? What clues in the passage told you that he was distraught about his report card?
As he plopped down on the couch, he let out a sigh. Sigh is when you, and that's when you decide when you get bad grades and when you sad and when you upset and when you have, and if it's about, and if he let a sigh for no reason, it would have been a bad thing.
So is him sighing a sign that his report card was bad?
No, it might have been it might have been that he didn't like his report card grades.
But what specifically, without guessing, what in this passage told you that his report card was bad? How do we know his report card was bad?
He balled it up and put it in a soup pot.
Right. Would you ball up a good report card?
No.
Why not?
Because you want people to see it.
You want people to see it.
Tell people how good you doing.
Right. So I want you to write that down.
Good grades?
I want you to write what you said. How do we know his report card was bad? Okay. Why does Kyle put the report card in the soup can?
Soup can?
Mm-hmm. Why does he put the report card in the soup can?
He puts the report card
Make it inference. Why does he put the report card in the soup can?
He puts the report card in the soup can because he doesn't like his grades.
Okay. So write that down. But what is him putting it in the soup can going to do? Let's elaborate.
Don't let people see it.
Right. Okay. So why is he putting the report card in the soup can?
So you don't want people to see it.
Okay. And it will be doesn't want, right? Because you're talking about Kyle. Because would you say Kyle do not want or Kyle does not want?
How do you spell the no?
Doesn't. D-O-E-S and apostrophe T.
D-O-E-S and apostrophe.
Yes, and you're starting to do a good job with keeping your words on top of the line. How do you know this? How do you know that Kyle did not want anybody to see his report card? How do you know Kyle does not want anybody to see his report card?
He put it in the trash can.
Okay, go further.
And put a soup in a soup can, flipped it over, and put everything else on top.
So what was he doing?
Burying it.
Right. Right here. Now I want you to write just as neatly as you wrote up here in the box as well. And you can't write that big because you're going to run out of space. Is that a complete sentence?
No.
Okay, so I need you to write. I need you to use your big boy voice, and two, I need you to write in a complete sentence.
Okay.
Okay. So the third question says, was Kyle's report card good or bad, and why was it like that? So it's two things that you have to answer. The first is, was Kyle's report card good or bad? And the second thing you have to answer is, why was it like that? All right. And how do you know this? How do you know that?
Because in the text it said,
I like how you go back and say, because in the text it said.
after 6 hours of playing, Grand Lawrence 7.
Grand Lawrence to me 7. Right.
He ate some pizza and fell asleep on the couch.
Right. Okay. And he did this right after doing what?
Getting home.
Right. Go ahead. So you write that in the box.
So right, getting home.
Right. Exactly what you just said. Remember what I said about writing so that your answers can fit in the box. So you're still writing big.
Okay.
Okay. Did you write about the other stuff that you said? What happened with what you said about the video game? You didn't mention that in your response.
Okay.
So remember, when you give your answer, the answer that you gave me was correct, right? You gave me the correct answer, but when you wrote it down, you only wrote half of what you said down. So when the teacher is grading your work, they're going to see the half that you wrote and not the other half that was in your mind, but didn't go to the paper. So is your answer going to be right or wrong? Right. So you have to remember what you say, and you have to write everything that you're thinking down on the paper so that you get the full credit for your response, okay? All right. So now we're going to go into this story called The Sometimes Friend, and it's by Heather Lynn Banks. So I want you to think of a time when have you ever, yes.
Can I go get this thing?
It's okay, no. I want you to think of a time that you have made a new friend. What do you do when you